What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Pugilism, aka MKO Boxing, where we talk all things box. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok, all that good stuff. Yeah, so let's get into this one. So, this weekend, probably the biggest card of the weekend is going to be the Mario Barrios versus Ryan Garcia, where Mario Barrios defends his welterweight title against King Ryan Garcia. Now, yeah, going into this fight, to me personally, I think this is a 50-50 fight. As far as the bookies are concerned, I believe Ryan Garcia is a slight favorite because for me, they obviously see Mario Barrios as a weak champion. You know, many guys have talked about fighting Mario Barrios. I believe that's why Mario Barrios' last fight was against Manny Pacquiao because he probably looked at the pecking order, looked at the champions, looked at Boots Ennis, looked at Mario Barrios, and thought, you know what? If I'm going to win a title in my old age, I might as well go for Mario Barrios. He's just seen as kind of a stepping stone sort of guy. But yeah, let's discuss a few details about this. So I think it's 50-50 because, to be honest with you, both guys have defensive vulnerabilities. Mario Barrios, he can get caught sometimes by shots when people leap in. Guys like Keith Thurman were able to sort of successfully catch him as they done these shots where they're on the outside, leap in, hit him. Is vulnerable sometimes to hooks and shots like that, where you kind of go into punching range, jump into punching range, hit him, and you can hurt him. So some of those things that and that will sort of lean, I suppose, in Ryan Garcia's favor because he likes to jump in with shots. He likes to be on top. He likes to attack and to be first, and he's can be left hand happy, left hook happy. So yeah, Mario Barrios, he can easily get caught with shots like that. But however, Ryan Garcia, he's also got his defensive vulnerabilities, and that's what kind of makes this fight 50-50. Sometimes at least for me, from what I've observed of his career, his chin can be up in the air. Sometimes he can sort of throw a shot, throw a jab, and his chin goes up in the air. He sometimes carries the head sort of too high, at least for my liking. So I think that kind of can make him vulnerable if you can sort of time him. And with Garcia as well, another thing is he can kind of be repetitive in what he does. So he was saying that sort of thing about Mario Barrios, but sometimes the things he does are quite repetitive, where he keeps going for that left hook, going for that left hook, going for that left hook, and sometimes going for the same shot. And then if you're a clever fighter in there, if you prepare for it, you can sort of say, okay, he's doing it, he's doing it, he's done it again, and then bang, you can counter him. You know, similar to what Javante Davis did against him, which was, you know, Javante Davis kind of downloaded the data, read the patterns, and that's how he took Ryan Garcia out by sort of waiting, watching, taking him in for a few rounds, figuring out the pattern, and then when it was time, bang, lands a shot, takes him out. And Barrios, if he's prepared for that left hook, he can do the same thing, sort of just work Garcia out, time him, and then hit him with a good shot. So yeah, I mean, both of them have got defensive vulnerabilities. Both of them can be hit and sometimes get hit a bit too easy because the defenses are both a bit leaky. So that probably will make for a good fight. Another factor we can think of is now Ryan Garcia is being trained by his dad, who over the time, recent years, have seen his dad can be a bit hot tempered. He was going after Eddie Hearn at times, and is quite sort of is they have a great relationship, it seems, but he's quite an emotional fellow, emotional guy. He's always been in the camp, obviously, of his son and worked alongside the other trainers that his son's had throughout his career. But I'm not sure if I remember a time where the dad was ever sort of the head honcho, the chief guy in the corner. So for me, that's going to be a bit of a factor here. The fact that his dad's in a corner here, and I think it's either going to be incredibly good or it's going to be detrimental to him. You know, how his dad will react under pressure remains to be seen because Barrios is a solid fighter, solid chin. So there are going to be moments in this fight where it will be pressure, and Garcia is going to need some good advice from the corner. So it remains to be seen how his dad's going to react to that pressure when when the fight gets tough and the rounds are going on and his son needs some good advice. Is he going to be able to deal with that? Is he going to be able to cope with the pressure when it comes? I don't know, but we'll see what happens. And I hope for Ryan Garcia's sake that we don't get a sort of similar performance to what Teofimo Lopez Sr. did, which was, oh, where's your power, bro? Knock him out, bro. And all this sort of bluster in a corner rather than advice. Let's hope he doesn't fold, or he doesn't, sort of react badly under the pressure. And because for me personally, I think this could hurt Ryan Garcia having a dad, because I think he would have been better off just having a more experienced trainer. Obviously, he fired Joe Goosen, but someone else in there that's got big fight experience probably for me would have been better. Robert Garcia, I mean, someone else I think would have been better, who's got that championship experience with dealing with this sort of level. So also on the training situation, you've got the fact that Mario Barrios, he's now being trained by Ryan Garcia's former trainer, which is Joe Goosen, and I think that could factor into this fight. I think it will factor into this fight because Joe Goosen's going to have a lot of knowledge on Ryan Garcia, on what his strengths and weaknesses are, and he should be able to they should have prepared very effectively for Ryan Garcia. And I think having that Joe Goosen in the corner is going to be an advantage. I mean, Ryan Garcia said it's the opposite, because I know the coach, I know what he's going to be coaching you on, so therefore I'm not at a disadvantage. I'm the one that's at an advantage. But I kind of disagree. I think Goosen will know Garcia, and he'll have a game plan for him, and you've got a plan for that left hook to sort of block it and get ready for it and throw him off of it. Use your feints and stuff to sort of and watch out for that left hook. When it comes, you make him miss and make him pay, counter it, because Ryan Garcia can be, as I said, a bit left hook happy. So looking at how both guys are coming into this fight, so Ryan Garcia is coming off of a loss to Rolly Romero, and Mario Barrios is coming off of a draw against Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, who's in his mid to late, I think he's about 47 now. And that was a bit too close for comfort for me. So yeah, both guys are coming off of kind of, you could say, bad performances. I think Barrios's performance was better than Ryan Garcia's performance, but both of them are coming off of these sort of sketchy. Garcia was worse because he just looked like he didn't want to be there against Rolly Romero. So he hardly won a round in there. And Barrios was okay against Pacquiao, but not as good as he should have been. So, given the age of Pacquiao. But anyway, so Garcia, he claims that going into his last fight, he wasn't 100% and he wasn't fit, he wasn't ready for it and whatever. But Barrios hasn't really made the same excuses. So, as a final sort of conclusion here, I believe of these two guys, Ryan Garcia is the more talented fighter. He's the guy with, you could say, like the higher ceiling, and that can probably do more in boxing. He's the more talented guy. He's got the better weapons. He's got the advantages in speed and hand speed, foot speed. I think he's got the advantage probably in punching power. But the one thing that Ryan Garcia doesn't have is consistency. Doesn't have consistent good performances. He sometimes switches off, sometimes gives you a good performance, sometimes gives you a bad performance. He's been on the old, PEDs against Devin Haney and whatnot. So for me, he's the sort of less reliable of the two fighters. So based on that, as much as I know Ryan Garcia is going to be most people's favorite, and it's kind of, for me, yeah, my head probably goes with Ryan Garcia, but I'm going to actually go the other way on this one as far as what I'm thinking, what my feeling is going into this fight. And for me, I think Mario Barrios boxes a smart, disciplined fight, boxes to a game plan, boxes to good instructions, and I think Mario Barrios beats Ryan Garcia on points. I think we're going to get an inconsistent, not so great performance by Ryan Garcia, and we're going to get a consistent performance from Mario Barrios, who boxes to a disciplined game plan and wins on points. That's what I think is going to happen in this. I know I could be wrong, but for me, I just think Barrios, the more reliable fighter, the fighter that you can rely on to be consistent, to box to a game plan, and I think he's going to box to that game plan and win on points. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.